Right, now this will tell us. And that's pretty conclusive. Still going. Close. I think he got it down.
How strong is he? Welcome back to the Pick and Go podcast, your one-stop shop for all things rugby union. And we've got a full house this time. Yeah, who would have thought? I welcome back Piri Weepu. Piri, you weren't here last week.
Yeah, I know. It's prepping for final that we lost.
Oh.
Season's over for someone.
At Jerry Collins Stadium.
Yep.
Looked like a horrible day there.
It was horrendous.
Yeah. But in the end, St. Pat Silverstream, too good.
Yeah, just the stronger team. Looked like they wanted a bit more. Obviously, right from the kickoff, they were fizzing, ready to go. So, yeah, the well-deserved win for them.
Looked like a strong wind that they had at their backs first, was it?
Yeah, they had a pretty
down?
strong one. Oh, I think you would have seen in the second half, one of our, I think it was a halfback did a box kick and ended up pushing the ball dead, and we were on pretty much just outside our 22. So, yeah, it was horrendous.
Another typical day in Wellington.
Oh, yeah.
What's the surprise in this? I mean, are we...
Oh, here we go.
Like it wasn't at the Tinny house where they would have been going like that.
They're swirling around, not straight down. Yeah, you may have noticed there. Jeff Wilson is also Jeff, welcome back in, mate.
Oh, it's great to be here. I've missed you guys. Well, most of you.
Sorry about that.
No, I wasn't talking about that.
Well, I guess you introduced the person you were talking about, Ben Phil, Really Talk Sports.
Oh, rough. No, mate. No, me and Jeff are too good. Harbour, Westlake supporting men, mate. We're on the same bandwagon, me and Jeff. Don't you worry about that.
Speaking of losses, but we'll get to that. Very, very soon. I thought we'd start today off by just having a look at our betting. A quick look at the betting from last week. Look, we did have a wee bit of success. Well, one person did. His name is Searley. And he just put the whole 100 on a 3-leg multi. What did he take? Bay of Plenty, half full-time. Taranaki, half full-time. Tasman, half full-time. And it came out to the surprising odds of $3.13. So he was up for the weekend, and he's only down 46-48 for the season. So he is making a big, big comeback, Searley. Right, we move on. Well, nothing
short and sharp.
How did you go? Were you not?
Yeah, what was your easy bet? Easy peasy.
I had Taranaki to win. I had Bay of Plenty to win. And I had Waikato to win. Oh, Wellington, what?
What are you up to?
Yeah. Well, so, down 100 for the week, but still up $508.58 for the season.
But that's starting to dwindle.
It's dwindling very, very fast. It's time to turn that around. Yeah, I agree. Right, a question for this week. Obviously, with Piri now being a TV drama superstar of the, I think it's Apple TV series, Chief of War, what series would Jeff and Searley be best suited to? Let's throw it up north first. Jeff?
I was a bit disappointed, actually, with my Ngāi Tahu roots that I didn't get the opportunity to contribute. But clearly, I've never been intimidating in a haka in my entire life. I've never imposed any sort of will on anybody. So I thought deeply and hard about this, and I think I would have been killed off really quickly in like a Game of Thrones. I would have been one of those extras who just had his head chopped off. Just hanging around in the background there, not really know what was going on. And I would have got ambushed and wouldn't have seen it coming. It just would have been no show. Well, that's what I reckon.
I've got to say, Jeff does give me Joffrey vibes, very much so, yeah. Yeah.
He was an evil man. God, I'm a bit distant. That was like... I know I have a dark side, but seriously? I mean, Paulie, that's rough. I mean, to be fair, I did get a bit of grief at home when that was the case. But anyway, that's all right. Okay. All right. I'll take that. That's fine. If that's is that what you think? I did do the worst piece of acting on Sky ever, to be fair. I don't know if you remember when House of Dragon did a promo at Wellington Stadium before
Oh, I do remember that.
Where at halftime, I had to pretend like a dragon had flown over the stadium, and they'd put, great marketing this, 2 flame pot things on the roof, and literally no one saw it, no one saw them, and my oh, what was that? Was it was like a little bit of overacting, I think, because there was nothing to be seen.
I thought you nailed it.
We needed more in post-production. That's what I felt. Yeah. We lacked a little bit of. We needed Peter Jackson to come in and save me.
We had a workshop.
We had a workshop. And Wellington, surely. My God. It's terrible. No acting offers coming.
Not yet. No. But
not ever.
No, well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'm sure a year ago, if we said to Piri, you're probably going to be on this Apple TV series.
You would have laughed,
yeah. You would have laughed, yeah. So let's
looked like a lot of fun, though, right? Looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I think for us it was just just being there and just watching how it sort of all comes together. I think they were cutting different scenes while we were there watching, and not only that, you just get to meet like all the spare people that are in the backgrounds, and we're lucky that we had our own sort of TV stars there, and Cliff Curtis, Kohe, and Uncle Bully. I mean, not Uncle Bully, Jake the Muss, Tim.
Uncle Bully.
Tim was there, and just listening to them and about how they sort of got approached and wanted to be a part of it, and was pretty cool. And just to see them get all their makeup done, and man, it's a bit of a process.
What about Searley? What are we thinking for Searley? Where's his?
Yeah.
I struggled with this. I went down the reality TV vibe, and not Love Island. Paulie, settle down. I went with I reckon I'll go right on Survivor. My only downfall would be I like food too much. So I reckon I'd eat all the rice the first night and get eliminated. But I think outside of that, my social game, the challenges, I think I'd go all right on something like Survivor. It would just be the lack of food. I'd get pretty hangry, so that would get me down. But as long as they fed me like side meals, I'd be all right, I think.
If we've got another extra in the background somewhere.
Oi.
Yeah, that's Lasty.
My dog disagrees entirely. Okay. Seriously.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Honestly, that's a reaction. So, guys, we've got someone in the background here who's going to be working with you, just in case we don't like what she doesn't like what she hears. Tell you what, I'll stick her outside. Carry on. I'll be right.
Talk about
Paulie, what would you be?
I'd probably be the director. Yeah.
I was thinking more you'd be one of the people on Cheers.
That is the director, isn't it?
No.
What?
The movie? I mean, the TV series?
Oh, at the bar? Oh, yeah.
Norm? Did you say Norm?
Yes.
I've got a new name for a Norm. I like it.
Where everybody knows your name.
I must admit, in my day, there was one thing in New Zealand, like it was Shortland Street. Like that, if you know how there was a lot of few people got cameos on that. That was the thing. It was pretty much the only option in New Zealand, wasn't it? For when I was playing, you got a little cameo in the background of Shortland Street. That was it. That was the only thing you could get a run on.
Yeah. So how did you go? Were they just driving past a rugby field while you fellas were doing a bit of training? And hey, do you guys want to be in? How does that work?
Did you say training?
Training.
Oh, training.
Training. Match fit training?
Yeah, match fit. Yeah, match fit. That's what I'm talking about.
No, apparently, because Jason's a big fan of the All Blacks.
Yeah.
He asked to get something. You got the geriatric retired version.
Yeah, he was going, can I get the... And then what happened?
Yeah,
oh, no.
Got stuck with
these fellas.
Liam, Rene Ranger, Bad News.
Rushy. I'll tell you what, Temuera Morrison, for a Hawaiian chief, he's got bloody good teeth, doesn't he? Hey? They looked a wee bit out of place. Everything else, the makeup and all that, but it's like I don't know. They were twinkling. Like that.
Hey, who watches teeth these days?
Well, what a takeaway from the show.
Hold on a minute. They're white as that. Well, I'm just saying.
Maybe he brushes his teeth.
Oh, yeah, that probably helps. Anyway, I thought if Searley and Goldie were on Chief of War, Goldie would either be Captain Cook or he'd be one of the grubby sailors, that have to work in the ship and that. So it's sort of like an extra on Game of Thrones. So we're not too far away there.
What a compliment.
And I thought, well, it's a character. It's not like that. I don't think that Jeff is like that. This is a character that he would be playing on Chief of War. Searley, I think, would be a missionary. And it would be, Pastor Searley or something like that. And he'd be there trying to convert the Hawaiian people to Christianity.
Fry tuck. So you're all about fry tuck sort of time.
Fry tuck.
Now you're podcasting him, so
sorry.
things are moving.
I like food, but not that much. Come on now.
I was thinking more the beer side of things.
Yeah, gotcha. There we go.
Okay, let's move on. Right.
What's this podcast about again?
Yeah,
I'm just
announce who got some money from their bet, and then the rest of the extra characters.
Okay, let's get back to the rugby. And of course, this season here at the Pick and Go, we are running the PAG NPC MVP, where every week all of us will award 5 points to the best player from the last round, 3 points to the next best player, and 1 point to the third best player of the round. And I can tell you, after the first round, we had myself, Searley, and Goldie put players in. We can tell you, Caleb Trask came out on tops with 11 points. Ratumai Tavuki Nipkins, second on 9 points. Christian Leo Willie had 3 points. Aaron Cruden had 3 points. And Harry Godfrey had 1 point. So, week 2, where are we going to go? Shall we start with Jeff first?
Lester Fainganuku got 3 points for me. Pretty easy one in regards to the fact he just was. He's an All Black who's been playing in France, who's come back to play NPC, and he looked big, he looked fast, and he was dominant. Well, when I say look fast, he was fast enough. Didn't need to be. Look, it was sort of men against boys thing. So he was 3 for me. Tom Christie, just niggly. Just Canterbury once again. I think for 2 points, he just stayed in the fight and just continually just peppered away and led the Canterbury team up against an Auckland team who threw everything at it. And just for my 1 point, look, I really think there's some players who are going to make a massive difference in this season. I think Caleb Trask is one of those. He's just a really good rugby player, and I like what he's going to bring for Bay of Plenty all year. And Bay of Plenty look dangerous to me. So those are the 3, and I thought there was actually 3 impressive performances from the team.
Nice. So just Caleb Trask, didn't he get sent to the bin for 10 minutes? Still gets a point.
Does that rule him out, though?
No, it doesn't. It's certainly not. Just, I think if he didn't get sent off, maybe he moves up your ranking slightly. Yeah.
I like him. I really do.
Very good. Searley.
I also had Leicester as my top point scorer, purely because I feel like the hype was huge and he delivered. And as an All Black fan, that makes me extremely excited. The potential of having him in the midfield or on the wing. Really keen to see that. So I was stoked to see that he looked so dominant. For the 2 points, I had James Mullen. Just saved Northland from a disappointing loss at home against the Stags. 3 tries in a half of footy. I thought that was pretty impressive. And then my 1 point was Akira Irimia. I thought he was really good for the Lions. And at 23 years old, had a disappointing season with Kubota. Didn't get a lot of minutes for them. Bit of an unconventional route for him to go over there and play professional rugby at such a young age. But 2 try assists, a try, just strong physical presence. And I thought he was massive for the Lions. So I gave him the 1 point.
Nice. Piri, you want to give us yours?
I would like
those fellas.
I went with Fainanuku just because he's back in the game. I don't know if he should have bumped that big guy off. He had enough room to run around him, but but just the fact that he's chased that ball down to start with the kick, and then got favourable bounce, and then turned the defenders inside out and put one on his ass.
Like when he was going that way.
Yeah,
right.
I went with mine was a bit like I wasn't too sure if I go with Mr. Trask, if not, because of the yellow card too, but I thought he was pretty well, went really well for Bay of Plenty for a stacked team.
Beautiful.
Oh, there's a little wee shot there. What do you mean stacked team? They're under the salary cap, I'm sure.
Yeah. Gee.
And then I was actually just going to go with Tamani with his meat pie.
Oh, the big fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tamani.
Got
Just for
right
Tamani.
out and run between the defence. So I went with him.
Beauty. Okay. 5 points for me, Lester Whanganuku. 3 points, the Taranaki hooker, Bradley Slater,
Oh, yeah.
who scored a few tries, but his all-round work was very, very good in that game. And, of course, he's a big, big reason why Taranaki are unbeaten at this stage. And the open side flanker for Auckland, Anton Segner, I thought was very, very good around the field in a losing side. I've also got some players through from Steve Devine. He also went Lester Whanganuku. That's a clean sweep for Leicester in week 2. He picks up maximum points. He had Anton Segner for 3 points, and then he had Michael Manson for 1 point. So I'll give you the updated scores for the PAG NPC MVP next week. But Lester Whanganuku flying at the moment. Right, I guess we should have a look at the All Blacks because the Rugby Championship kicks off this weekend. And although the teams haven't been named, the bookies do have the odds out for that first test against Argentina. Argentina at $3.40, the All Blacks at $1.30. They're 8.5-point underdogs, the All Blacks, and the game total currently sits at 56.5. First of all, Jeff, I guess, what are you expecting the shape of the side to look like when Razor names it?
I suppose a lot of it comes down to the availability of some guys returning from injury. So, it's a matter of how you're looking at these 2 test matches in regards to the South Africa coming up in Auckland as well in a few weeks' time. But you'd imagine he's looking at picking his best and strongest and available side. So if Tupavai's recovered from any concussion issues, if Scott Barrett's available, I imagine he'll start. Tamaiti Williams, I'm not sure whether he's going to be right for this first game. And obviously no Tyrell Lomax as well. So, I think there's some big question marks in regards to our experience up front. All of a sudden, off the bench, we're going to might look a little bit thin in terms of number of test matches, not in terms of ability. But I'd like to think that Fabian Holland's going to continue. Speaking to the guys over the weekend, a lot of it comes down to how we see our bench and what that's going to look like for the All Blacks. But I expect Beauden Barrett to be at first 5. Cortez Ratama, this is his big opportunity. I'll be bitterly disappointed if he's not starting. He should be. I mean, he's the next best ranked player that they've got available. Who's on the bench at halfback's a massive question mark, Piri. Whether or not they're going to go with what we know in Finlay Christie or Kyle Preston, and they did that really smartly, right, when they named both of them. They're going to find out who stays, right, in terms of when Roy Gard's fit again. They know, well, they're both sort of covering the halfbacks, and we'll decide when it's almost like when there's a recovery and who's done better. So, look, the All Blacks need to start moving forward. I'm not sure if we went forward against France. I think we sort of tread water, and I think this selection is critical. And the first test in Cordoba, they're travelling down on the Thursday, across on the Thursday. They're staying in Buenos Aires. So, to me, I think there's still a lot of unknowns in this All Black team.
Can you just tell us how much of a journey that is from Buenos Aires to Cordoba?
I think it's an out flight. It's just an out flight. It's not an arduous thing, but it's more the fact I don't think there's a lot there. So they've decided that having a base and knowing the second test is going to be in BA. So it's not that's not. I don't think that's a hard thing for the players. They do that all the time in Super Rugby. Travelling a couple of days before, and everything's laid on for the All Blacks. So it's not an arduous trip.
So is Jeff Wilson saying that Cordoba is the Hamilton of Argentina? Is that what you're saying?
I would never put that on anybody.
Okay.
It's the Canberra of Argentina.
Right there. That's a good comparison there, Searley.
Yeah, Leah, let's just some Australian city. This is not just our own. Let's just leave that.
Any other boring cities we want to rattle off around the world, guys?
Yeah, exactly.
As we know, Piri, he can't stand Canberra. So, well, you haven't had much success there, to be fair. But Searley,
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. If you look at the All Black side, who do you want to see at the back? Is it Will Jordan has to wear the 15 jersey? Does D-Mac come into calculations and Jordan move to the sort of one of the wings? Or how do you see it sort of panning out?
I want to see Will at the back. I think he's one of the best fullbacks in the world, and I want to see him play in his preferred position. And we saw how great he can be on the wing. Whenever he's on the field, whatever position you chuck him in, he's going to play well because he's that level of a footballer. But I want to see him at the back, and I think D-Mac's impact off the bench could be crucial for us in these types of games as well. So, yeah, I think Bodie at 10, Will Jordan at the back.
Okay.
And you've got Sevu and
Rico. Yeah.
and Rico on the wings.
Yeah.
Piri, is there anyone you really want to see lining up in the 1 to 15 in the black jersey against Argentina in that first test? Billy Proctor, do you want to see him get another go?
Yeah,
have a halfback situation.
I guess that's probably the hardest part is that centre. That position there is probably one of the toughest ones. We haven't had anyone fill the shoes of Conrad in that space that can actually, make good reads defensively, but can also be an extra person on attack as well. Snakey wasn't the fastest man, but he made a lot of good reads to counter his lack of top speed. But I mean, his work ethic across the field, whether it was on the defence or the attack side, was massive. So that'll be a huge area as well in the centres, making sure that you get the right person that can make good reads on defence, but not only that, his skill set covers that.
Can I ask you a question then, Piri? How many test matches has he got out of this Rugby Championship to make sure that he's on the India tour unless the Whanganuku's not coming for his jersey? Because I think that he's on not borrowed time, but his opportunities, he has to take them now.
This is his audition sort of thing.
Well, it's just he needs to own that jersey because there's someone waiting in the wings.
Are we
who
confident
I think Razor is waiting to pick.
It would be him that goes though, or do you think it would be another midfielder? Like
it could be a Taba Nawai. It could be I don't. Once again, though, I still they're looking for a 13. Well, I'm talking about starting and playing.
Yeah.
Proctor might stay in the squad, but what I'm saying is that he has to own the jersey. To every opportunity he gets, he has to prove he has to get better and better. The moment the door opens for them to bring Leicester back in, which will be the India tour, and I think he'll come back in anyway. It's just stopping him getting a chance to play.
Yeah, I guess because he's out and out.
This is audition. Yeah. This is it. This is the here and now.
So with that being said, though, because Leicester's playing on the wing at the moment, do they just throw him straight into centre? Because I know he has been playing centre for too long.
Yeah, I think they'll just look at him as a centre.
And they love utility, and that would be against Proctor, right? Is that he's an out-and-out centre. They love players that can play multiple positions too. But I reckon they'd chuck him at centre because he gives us what we need at centre at the moment on paper, doesn't he? So,
what about the makeup of the bench, Jeff? Are we going for a bomb squad type look in preparation for the test matches against the Springboks, or
look? I'm pure and simply We need to consider a 6-2 split. We've just got to. There's no reason if we're going to start Tupou Vai at blindside flanker, we don't need to carry a lock. And with our versatility in our black line, as Shirley talked about, we don't need to carry an outside back. Like we just don't need to. We keep carrying. A number of times we've had like a Caleb Clark or whatever on the wing. We don't need to do that with Will Jordan at fullback. We don't need to carry a wing with Rico Ioane on the wing. We don't need to carry a centre. For me, we can simply just take a halfback and Damien McKenzie. And with whatever happens, if we need to, we can move guys around. Then all of a sudden, I think we can take the 6 forwards. And I think we can take that opens up the window of actually taking more loose forwards and more versatility. Like there's so many options that we can go there. So for me, I'd love us to consider that.
Searley, who are the absolute certainties that will be named to start? by Razor for this first test?
Oh, Struth. Well, there's the Arties and the likes that are 100% locked in, aren't they? The ones for me, the interesting ones, like we've seen them be brave a couple times with selections. I think they'll go with Finlay Christie, but I'd love to see Preston get a crack off the bench because for me, I know what Finlay's going to do, but the Preston for me is that unknown. And I think if someone's going to get an opportunity based off form this year, it would be Preston over Finlay Christie, in my opinion. So I want to see someone like him, or I don't think they'll give Leroy Carter a run, but like let's test these guys at the international level. If you're going to carry them and they've proven that they can do it at Super Rugby level, like he's another one, centre, wing, halfback. You could carry him on the bench and he can literally tick 3 boxes for you as well. And he gives us something a little bit different at centre. If we're looking for someone with out and out speed that can break a game open, powerful, been great on the wing, that halfback thing really interests me as well, because that's a crazy amount of versatility right there. And then all of a sudden you start a Roy Guard and it's unfortunate for the other two, but they miss out because you've got a Leroy Carter on the bench. Like that excites me, that prospect too. But I just want to see it. I don't know if Argentina is the place to do it because I think they're going to be good and I think they're going to push us. And I think people are underestimating how close this game could potentially be. But yeah, a Preston or a Leroy Carter making their way onto the bench would have me extremely excited.
Satiti's fit, right?
He's there and he's trained. There's certain guys that didn't travel and there's guys that did, and the guys that did must be right on the fringe for playing either of these 2 tests, right? Because Wallace and that are there, Caleb Clark and those boys are still back home. You'd have to think if you're going to take them, they're available for one of the 2.
Yeah. I just think Wallace, if he's fit, he has to play.
Oh, big time.
He needs 2 games. He needs 2 test matches. He needs minutes because I think we'll want to play him at number 8 against the Springboks. Yeah. And we need him to have got at least a couple of games under his belt. So, like he in terms of starters, I really, if I'm looking at it, Vai, Satiti and Adi Savia, I really like that combination, the balance you get out of those 3 players. I think Tupou is just going to get better and better in that 6 jersey. It's a direction that I think we want to go down. We have to go down. I really do like that. So, but Satiti's a big one for me because we've dropped a guy out of the squad who played 2 test matches, and Christian Leo Willie. So, like we and Luke Jacobson getting injured and all those sorts of things. It just means that we need someone to have had a bit of time in the 8 jersey.
Do you ease him back into the first test via the bench? You just throw him. He's in.
He's in. Oh man, if he can, Piri, I'm of the opinion if you're on the bench, you can start. Like. It's if you're a starter and you're fit and available, why would it be off the bench? Get your mentality right. You're going in, you're singing the anthem, you're doing the haka, and you're into it.
I think we saw in Super Rugby too, right? He came back from a decent stint off, started, and just looked like he hadn't missed a beat the whole time. He's that good enough of a player that you just chuck him straight back in the mix. In terms of other guaranteeds, it's your Scott Barrett, it's your Geordie Barrett, your Cody Taylor. The rest of it, like Jeff's mentioned a few names there, but the rest of them are kind of up for grabs. All Jordan starts, it's just where, and you can argue all these type of positional things. Bodie probably starts as well, but a lot of people would debate the otherwise. But it's an interesting thing that we have at the moment, right? Like you'd bet your house on 6 of the 15 being there, and then it's where the others are and how it all fits into the puzzle.
Is that our number 1 loose forward trio as you see it when everyone's fit? Satiti, Ardi and Tupou?
Piri?
Yeah. If there would be any changes, it'll be maybe to the 6 role. But other than that, yeah, I'd probably say if everyone's fit, I'd probably say that it'll be close to being our starting trio for majority of the campaign. I can't see anyone sort of outdoing them unless you've got the likes of I guess Ardi can cover all 3 positions too. But I mean, it depends on what game you want him to play. I'd
really like to see Peter Lakai on the bench. For me, same thing, play all 3 positions, 7-8 cover. It's just whether or not they're going to go down that path, where they see Duplessis now, whether or not they're prepared to hold a spot on the bench for an out-and-out 7. And if do they want to move Ardi to 8, in games? Are they trying to get away from that? Who else is there? Sammy Petty-Finau. If you carry a lock, it's Patrick Tuipulotu, who look, he never lets you down in the All Black jersey, Paddy. There's something about him, and particularly he's had some big games against the Springboks, from time to time. His sort of experience and toughness, it's really, really nice to have coming off the bench. So, there's some real options there. But I'm just it's time for us to move forward as a team. Get closer to what our best team might look like, other than barring injury.
Searley, what would be a satisfactory result out of this first test? Are you looking for the margin of a win if the All Blacks do indeed win? Is it the performance that they put on? Is it a combination of things? Look, they did beat the French, maybe not as impressively as some would have liked. So what are you looking to say? Okay, they've made a progression from that French series from this first test.
Well, we're obviously expecting them to win, and we want them to win, but I think it is the manner in which we win and the performance that they put out there. We saw for periods against the French the way that we wanted to play, but we weren't able to implement it for long, sustained periods without either errors or something like that coming into our game and ruining our momentum. So for me, it's implementing the way that we want to play and doing it for sustained periods and just kind of nutting down that DNA that we are going to play with this year, because we have, as it's been alluded to, we have a couple of weeks now until the whole world will be watching us play against South Africa. And if we are going in there with question marks around who our best team is, the way we want to play, we still haven't hit our straps, then it's going to be incredibly difficult. So for me, it's the manner in which we play and us being able to dominate the game in terms of dictating the style that we play and our execution being spot on. Because, I was really impressed with Patches against the French because I think we saw the blueprint, but too often it just fell short at the final hurdle. So, it's just ticking those final boxes in terms of execution for me.
Piri and or Jeff, did you when you were part of the All Black setup, did you have a win? But the bulk of the public went, oh, it wasn't a good win, though. Did you ever get sort of feedback like that? How did it affect you, sort of thing?
Go on, Piri.
I didn't give a shit what they said. They went out on the bloody field. They went smashing each other during the week to make sure we got it right. I guess for us, it was more for us. If we knew that we didn't play to the full potential, is because there was a few parts to the opposition game that we didn't quite cover. But we practice Monday to Friday on how we wanted to execute our game plan. And then from there, you go out and they might throw something different at you. It's about how we react from that, which is what we tried to make sure we took care of majority of the time. But, opposition, you can never rely on them coming with the same game plan every day, every week, week in, week out. So you had to be prepared for the what ifs. What if they threw a curveball at us? How do we react, and how do we make sure that it doesn't happen again? So for us, it was mostly around us getting things thrown at us last minute, and how do we react to try and fix it so that it doesn't continue to sort of put us off our game.
I don't need the public to, the fact that we've got a passionate fan base, which is great. We know that people love the game. They're knowledgeable about the game. The video on the score doesn't lie. We know in ourselves whether you've played well or not. The performance. Generally people are pretty close to the mark if they're being critical, because there'll be some things you go, well, that's not entirely accurate, but ultimately you know yourself whether or not the team's performed or not. So the first people to judge your performance is yourself, and you'll know internally the things like you tried to execute and do. You took advantage of those and you executed that. And I'll say this is that, and you finished teams off. You beat teams, and we didn't do that against France in the first and third test. Create plenty of opportunities, and I'm sorry, but this has been a constant theme. It was last year. We created a whole lot of opportunities, but we didn't finish. We finished in the second test against France. Well, we created a lot. Every time we got down there, line breaks, we turned it into points. That's our Achilles heel right now, is the fact that we're being creative. And I live with errors if we are creating try-scoring opportunities or point-scoring opportunities, but you just have to be more efficient and nail them, like you said, Searley, in terms of that accuracy of when you do create point-scoring chances, you take those. That's the difference between winning and losing against the top 8 teams in the world, is you will get X number of chances, and how you convert those in a game will determine whether you win or lose. We've just had a number of test matches, and you'd have to say in recent years, where we haven't nailed critical parts of those games. Sounds cliched, but that is the game. That's what it is at the highest level. And, we'll create enough against Argentina. It's just whether or not we finish. And then I'll say this, though, is on the other side of it, where our defence sits. And I think our defence actually is looking, that's probably an area I like a bit better this year. I feel more comfortable we'll be able to shut some teams down. It's just whether or not we can do that against South Africa, ultimately. Argentina are sneaky skillful, though. That's the one thing that they are. And as we know, they're a different team against the All Blacks. They would have looked across and looked at England B that went to it, with all the Lions players out. And they literally wouldn't have, they probably don't care. They deeply care about playing the All Blacks.
Right, let's move on. We're running out of time again. But let's have a quick look back at last week's NPC, and I guess who stood out most. And I'm talking about a team here. Which team stood out most? There are four unbeaten teams at the top of the table. There's one team with maximum points. I think there's Bay of Plenty right at the top there. But Searley, for you, which team really stood out the most in round 2?
I think it's still Bay of Plenty for me. They were my most impressive team after week 1, and they're still my number 1 ranked side in the competition after week 2. It was good to see Wellington, the defending champs, bounce back, and Tasman. I think there's a 5 there that are in the mix, and the rest of them are playing to make up the numbers. But for me, Bay of Plenty is still the number 1 ranked side. They're just, they seem like such a connected group so early on in the competition, and it's guys like Naito Akoi, Kurt Eklund, that just seem like the heart and soul of that team, right? And you can just tell they love playing for that jersey, and they've got so much talent scattered in there too, so that's a hard mix to beat when you've got passion and talent mixed together. So I think they're going to be incredibly tough to beat.
Piri, your most impressive team from the weekend?
Would be Bay of Plenty as well. I think I've just enjoyed watching them. Majority of their squad is the same as, well, maybe not quite, but close enough to being the same as last year. And I think they're just gelling really well. And I know it's only early stages, and they haven't sort of really been tested properly just yet. But I think they're definitely the one for me at the moment.
Are you going somewhere else, Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely. Taranaki.
Yeah.
Taranaki with Josh Jacob, Jacob Ratamatavuki-Nedkins. Lennox has played some time for the Highlanders. I'll tell you who's a really, really good NPC player is Kalen Boshier. Like he's first 2 weeks he stands out. Skillful, was really good for the Chiefs this year. I think he leads this team really, really well. He's that guy that's probably never going to put on an All Black jersey, but is incredibly valuable to New Zealand rugby. And they're well coached in Barnsley. I think as the holders of the Bramford Shield. It's just whether or not that takes its toll, but you get the sense it probably won't. Stadium looks great in New Plymouth. I just think they've got a lot of things going for them. And particularly, you mentioned Slater earlier on, O'Neill, Prophet, a lot of Super Rugby experience there. This is a team has actually really been really, really consistent. So for me, they're the side of the moment. Big game for them this weekend. Up against Auckland in Auckland, and a massive game for Auckland after a tough couple of opening weekends. So for me, Taranaki are the team that I'm keeping a real close eye on as potential title winners.
Yeah, those were the 2 teams that I liked as well. Bay of Plenty, because they had such that big win against Tasman in week 1. You can sometimes you can just come down off the other side and just think they just needed to roll up to beat Counties Monaco, but they took that game by the scruff of the neck almost immediately. But Taranaki, you defend the Shield 1 week, you can have a bit of a fall off the next week. That didn't happen. In fact, I think they got better from their performance in week 1 against a Northland team that really didn't offer too much. They look very, very good. But yes, Jeff brings up a very, very interesting dilemma. You certainly don't want to be starting the season 0-3. And I don't think there'd be too many punters that would have thought that Auckland would be staring at an 0-3 start as we head into round 3. So let's, I guess, preview some of the big matchups this weekend. And the first game we'll start at will be a game that features Bay of Plenty. They host Canterbury this weekend on Saturday. $1.57 Bay of Plenty. Canterbury are $2.35. They're 4.5-point favourites, Bay of Plenty. And the game total set at 57.5. Searley, do you like anything there? I mean, Canterbury, they're two of the unbeaten teams. So which way are you leaning at the moment? The way that you've been talking, I'm thinking the Bop.
Yeah, I am, but I do think it's going to be close. I think the home ground advantage for Bay of Plenty will be huge in Tauranga. They get a big crowd out there, a passionate crowd too, and it seems to take them to another level. Canterbury have the tools to be able to really push Bay of Plenty. They've got an experienced forward pack, or experienced side really, and guys like Christie and Cullen Grace and that will just rip in and take it to them physically for the whole game. So I think this is going to be a great watch. I think Bay of Plenty will win, but it will be close. And this, for me, this and the Auckland Taranaki game will give us a great indication as to where a couple of these sides are at the moment. Like you said, if Auckland go 0-3, then that'll be tough for them to bounce back from. But I got the Bay of Plenty 1-12 in a close game against Canterbury.
Jeff, are you thinking the same way, or do you give Canterbury more of a chance than Searley?
No. I think Bay of Plenty should win this game at home, the way they're playing. Canterbury are going to be, I think, a team that's really tough at home. I think an afternoon game does suit Bop as well. I just look at it'll be tight. Canterbury will make it tight, just the nature of who they are. This is a tough one to call, but I like Bay of Plenty at home.
Piri, if you look at this game, can you make a case for Canterbury, or will Bay of Plenty get up in a tight one?
No, like they've both said, it's a tough one because Canterbury obviously went to Auckland. And that was away and got the points from that result. But I mean, that was it down there. But I mean, it's not bloody going to be an easy feat for them. I know Bay of Plenty are playing some good quality football, and they'll definitely have that support to back them with the home audience. So yeah, I'll be backing Bay of Plenty for this one.
Right, let's head on to.
What about you? Who are you backing for this one?
Oh, I've just been so impressed with the way that Bay of Plenty have gone about their business. And they may feature in my punting this weekend.
Canterbury 1-12. Here we go.
Well, maybe I should take either team 1-12.
Yeah, there we go.
The next game we're going to have a look at does feature Auckland looking for their first win of the season, still up against a team that haven't lost yet. And Auckland are slight favourites in this due to the fact that they will be playing at home. Auckland $1.80, Taranaki $1.95. The game total is set at 58.5. Jeff, will Auckland pick up their first win of the season here?
I'm not sure they will. Look, I think at the moment that there's pivotal positions. We know this. Rico Simpson and Peyton Spencer will be. They missed some kicks as well. Xavier Ta'ili missed a few conversions. I just think at the moment they're really young and critical positions, I will say this, I saw down in Christchurch, and I know it was a tight tussle, but, we're getting in the situation, Piri, and I don't know this is frustrating as well for you, Searley, but we have a lot of first fives ending up at fullback, and they kick the shit out of the ball, and it's killing me. At some point you have to counterattack. Like this territory game, they'll kick and then we're losing that ability to just bring it back, bring the ball back and play a little bit before you try and, but it's this whole, let's do a 50-22. And then they look down and go, oh shit, they've covered the sidelines, just kick it down the middle of the park. The Canterbury first five was breaking me in Christchurch. There's a chance to run it back to over halfway and then start to play. And so for me, if I'm Auckland, you've got to start making a decision about how you want to play at the moment. I think they're being far too conservative in terms of their back play. So I think with Ratamatavuki Netkins and with what Josh Jacob does, they're reading those situations better. So I like the way that they're playing and trying to at least play a little bit versus there's just a lot of kicking coming from Auckland right now. And I just don't like it. So for me, I'm going to go Taranaki.
Piri?
Yeah, I think that whole corridor about having 10s moved out to fullback, I think their first thing is to play the territory game. I don't know whether that's in the blueprint of what they're trying to achieve with the game plan, but I think if you have an out-and-out fullback that's used to having a crack, but picking his moments. I know some fullbacks pick the wrong moment to have a crack, but if you've got the backing and ability to get back and have guys back there to support you, I think having a fullback that can, chance his arm and have a crack is massive. So, I think that kicking games, sometimes you have to put that away and just have a crack. And if you don't get that opportunity to have a crack, then you potentially could wait until you got reinforcements and make it a 50-50 as opposed to trying to get that 50-22 that Goldie's talking about. It's pretty when you get it, but it's not often that those sidelines are open these days. A lot of teams have got that covered with their 10 and 15 at the back.
Okay, we'll have a look at one more game, and this one might hit a wee bit closer to his heart. Jeff here. Wellington hosting Otago at Jerry Collins Stadium out at Porirua, and they're very warm favourites, Wellington here. $1.22, Otago $4. Crikey, this is surely a line that will attract Jeff Wilson's attention. 12.5-point underdogs, Otago. The game total is set at 56.5. Take us away, Jeff. Tell us why punters should have a little stab at Otago plus 12.5.
What was the line?
12.5.
Oh, ridiculous. Jesus, that's ridiculous. Come on now. Seriously. Look, Otago, it was a good win against Southland in round one. Just a little bit soft against Hawke's Bay. For me, it was just a little bit too easy, and every time they sort of fought their way back into the game, they gave the advantage away. Again, I expect this Otago team, their starting team, to be a little bit better, to be honest, with the sort of Super Rugby experience that they've got. So I think the lines are great. Like, it's ridiculous, and I'd be all over that. Should they beat Wellington? Probably not, though. The defending champions. Wellington's got a good squad. They've got a good team. So I'm confident we'll cover the spread there. Whether we can win or not will be a tough ask. I think Wellington improved a lot from to beat Waikato away. That was a big step up. So I like what they did. Same thing though. Wellington, that Garden Bishop, Harkin, key positions. I think their forward pack, Numia and O'Reilly and Plummer, Delaney. No luck, I know, though, for Wellington. So, I think for me, Otago will cover that, but it'll be a big ask to win.
Shirley?
How long's Leo Willie out for? Because if he's back and Wellington have lost Lakai, then I reckon that would be huge, and that would give them a bit of that toughness. But then we see Asafa Moore's training, and maybe he's back for Wellington too. So, yeah. There's a couple things like that, right? Like even the Auckland Taranaki game, if you told me Perifeta's at 10, then that might change things a little bit.
Yes, agree.
So I think that's the biggest thing about NPC, right? Is you get a couple quality players back and it can change the whole outcome of the game. But I'll be tipping Wellington, but I think it'll be closer than that line suggests for sure. The plus 12.5 for Otago is not a bad shout.
Piri, who's turning out for Wellington?
Oh, the team?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just look at the weather forecast. It's same
windy?
Same as what we had in the final.
That's random, man.
And you fellas cut that park up a bit
cold.
too.
It's not as cold. Like last week was a southerly, this week's meant to be a northerly, so at least it's a bit warmer. I think some of those players from the weekend were bloody frozen. But no, I think if they can play smart footy into the wind, especially because I know, was it last year or the year before, they played against Manawa 2 it was Taranaki, and they just didn't get it right. And Taranaki, like they were leading, Taranaki came back into the game. So it's just whether they can bite down on the gum shield into that northerly to start with, or if they've got the win to begin with, they've got to make sure when they are going into the win that they've got to be accurate and willing to sort of bite down on the gum shield and go hard to try and get them down the right end of the field. I still think Wellington will get the job done.
Okay.
Who are you picking? Because then I'm just going to rethink about
I'm going to go Otago plus 12.5. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Smart.
Yeah.
Brave, Paulie. Brave.
Okay. Speaking of punting, let's get to that part of the show where you get to spend $100 on your favourite bets for this weekend. Why don't we go to Searley first? Searley, after your successful sojourn last weekend, where are you going this time?
Sojourn. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds positive, so I'll roll with that. I've got a multi of Taranaki, Hawke's Bay halftime, full-time double against the mighty North Harbour, and Waikato to win. That's paying $4.09. And then my second bet, so I'm chucking 50 on that. My second bet is All Blacks 1-12 at $2.70.
Nice.
Ooh, Cordoba.
Good.
Is that like, is the crowd very, very close to the field at Cordoba? Are they like almost on top of you?
Have they got the fences up? Is it that type of operation?
Oh, look, I can't. I've played a game in Cordoba, and it was in 1994 for the New Zealand Development 15. It was a bizarre tour that we went on, and it was pretty hostile. We played 5 games, and we were the visiting team. You know, like we were 100%. It was like we were the All Blacks, but we were the development side. But that didn't matter. So we had a black jersey on. They were into us. So it's going to be loud. It's going to be passionate. You know, it's and for all these All Blacks, it'll be. I don't know if it'll be out of their comfort zone, but they're very familiar with playing in Buenos Aires. All of the test matches, Steve Hansen just said, we're not playing anywhere else. We'll just play at BA. That's what he used to say. Like, we don't travel. We go to BA, we play and go. So this is different for them. So it'll be interesting. Very interesting. Which is why I've got, and saying that, I think they're part of my multi, to be fair. Do you want me to go, Paulie?
Yeah. Pretty
simple for me. The point start is, we're at -8.5. I think we'll cover that easy. I think we're going to win this game and win it well. I'm multiing that up with Australia plus 16.5 against the Springboks. They just beat the Lions, for crying out loud.
They almost beat them in the series.
Exactly. And the Springboks have actually got a number of injuries. Sia Khaleesi's having to start at number 8. No Damien Delendi, no Cheslin Colby. So I don't think this is some weapons and some consistent performance. Springboks are still going to win, but I think Australia are going to cover that. So that multi's up to 361. I could put the whole 100 on that.
Oh.
That's me. I just think 2 results. I'm looking at All Blacks to cover theirs, and Australia. They'll definitely be within 16 points, I believe, of the Springboks.
Is it hard to get a gauge on the Springboks just with the opposition that they've faced so far this season?
No, because when they've needed to, and history tells us this in recent times, that they're just a really good rugby team. Like they've just gone about their business, and they got out to some fast starts against Italy and Georgia. Georgia, they had to work a little bit harder, but fast starts against Italy, and you sort of see them start cruising. It's almost like we know we've won this game. They've got another gear, and they very rarely struggle to find it when they need to. So for me, I think they'll perform and perform well. I just think Australia are better this year. There is a question mark at 10. I will say that, a big question mark at 10. I don't know who's going to play for the Wallabies at 10. Apparently James O'Connor's gone, right? He's with the team. He only went if he could guarantee that he would play.
Yeah.
That's basically, he said, I'm only going if you'll play me, because I think he's heading north, right, to France. So that's the word. He said, well, I'm not going to come if you're not going to play me. And so he may start at 10, which is a massive step up from coming off the bench for the Crusaders.
Would that have been an interesting series against the Lions if Lolosio would have been available?
Oh, it was an interesting series anyway.
It was 100%.
I think they probably deserve to win it. There you go.
Boom.
So,
Right, Piri, where's your money going?
I'm going with Manawa 2 halftime full time. We're into
In Southland.
what are you doing?
I actually thought Manawa 2 goes all right.
Well,
In Southland?
in Southland, yeah.
Get the job done.
Okay. Righto.
Mate, you are going to be the most hated person in Southland when this goes to air. They are passionate.
Whopper lives up here, bro.
He does too.
And then Taranaki halftime full time. And this is a tough one because I don't know who's going to have the wind to start this game. But I'm going to go with Otago at halftime.
Oh, so it's all down to the toss.
You're brilliant.
If they Otago get the win, I have a feeling they'll get the lead and then
Wow.
Wellington will kick the ass.
This is niche punting from Piri.
Uh-huh.
Especially after I've been there for like 2 weeks and seen how terrible it can be. I'm like, oh no.
I hope they show the coin toss before the game. And if
it's
Piri
so
Winter is the
good.
one that's tossing the coin up in the air,
Yeah.
you know that Otago's going to win it.
win.
Yeah.
Hey, was it hit or tough? You know,
I'll tell you
okay.
what.
No, tough.
Whoever's working that game from Sky has got a lot of pressure on them to get the
calling that
information
game.
out there quickly.
Are you in
I'm
Nisbet?
calling that game.
Is it you and Nisbet?
I think so.
Oh, so you're calling it. So
If you hear Piri walk out of the
Otago
booth,
lost the toss. We can see the emphasis. They lost the toss. They're playing into the wind. Take
And
the money off.
if Will Jordan's starting, I'm putting 50 on him to score anytime try.
Oh, shocker there. What's that paying $1.06?
Oh.
I mean, seriously.
guy's a freak. Yeah.
Oh, gee.
You never know, Goldie. He might come from the bench.
Oh, yeah, righto.
I don't think there will be a more anticipated coin toss than the one that we see before the Wellington Otago EPC
Blowing
match.
his tits off
this
on
week.
Sunday,
Yeah.
boys.
Piri will be standing at one end of the field.
But who's the Otago captain going, take the win, son. Take the win. Take the win, son. Put it at your backs.
It's a 25-point win. Rightio. I'm having one bet, a 3-leg multi. I'm going to take Taranaki to beat Auckland, Waikato to beat Counties Manukau, and Otago plus 12.5 with that first half wind. And that comes out at $5.37. The whole hunting goes on. More pain on Auckland this weekend, I believe. Righty-ho. Thanks, gentlemen, for tuning up this weekend. Jeff, what are you up to? You calling out? You heading somewhere?
I've got Auckland, actually, Auckland Taranaki, which I'm looking forward to that. First I'll watch, before that though, I'll be at North Harbour Stadium watching Westlake boys take on Whangarei boys in the final of that first 15 match up there. And then obviously a test match on Sunday morning, which I can't wait for. It's been a long time between tests, you know.
It has.
4 weeks. It's, you know, now we'll get some momentum back-to-backers. It's great before the Springboks arrive. So no, I'm looking forward to this weekend. Should be great.
Searley, what are you up to this weekend?
Yeah, I'll also be at North Harbour Stadium watching Westlake go to work against Whangarei. Was stoked to see them get through, not Rosmini, on a who scored first type of debacle, which is great scenes. And I think I'll be spending a bit of time with you, unfortunately, Paulie, won't I? We're doing the darts together. So
Yeah, big win for Searley.
we can watch Piri's coin toss live together, mate, right at home.
We'll stop the darts just for it.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Live on Sky. The coin toss.
The darts crowd would get into that too.
Exactly,
They
they
would.
would.
Yeah, great stuff.
Piri, the college season over?
Kind of. My son's got his team's made the finals for the under 55s.
Oh,
for
congratulations.
Wellington. So
As
he's,
an age or weight? How old's your son? Yeah.
He's 8.
He's under 50.
Oh, okay, good.
He's nothing like his father at the moment. No. Anyway, so way skinny. So yeah, he's playing for Wellington College's under 55 kilos team, and they go against play against Hibs this weekend for the final. And then he'll be calling the FPC and NPC on Sunday, waiting for my coin toss. Take the win. Take the win, bro. Please help me.
Oh, fantastic. Right, that's it for us.
What are you doing other than the darts?
I'm looking after Searley this weekend. We'll be
Good
at the
job.
darts up in Auckland Friday and Saturday, and cheering on Wellington to win by less than 12.5. Yeah. Looking forward, and hopefully watching the Wars get back on the winning track again. Boy, oh boy, they're struggling at the moment. But that's it for us here at the Pick and Go. Thanks to my guests. Well, they're not really guests; they're residents of the Pick and Go. Jeff Wilson, Ben Searle of Searley Talk Sports, and of course Piri Wipu here in studio with me. And thanks for tuning in. And don't forget, we'll be back next week with another edition of the Pick and Go.